All right, so we're back again. I always gotta fix my hair when I start this, but so the last reading that we did, we talked about slow but steady. Okay, so this journey that we are all on as a collective, slow but steady. Interesting enough, in that reading, we pulled the Fool's card and we pulled the Universe. The Fool is the first of the major arcana, and the Universe is the last. So that's like the beginning of the journey and the end of the journey, which is like interesting that we had that all in one reading. There was so much that happened in that reading, so much energy that was broadcasted. And so now, as we move to the next week, as we move to the next phase, we've got Mercury in retrograde, we've got all sorts of different energy that is happening. And for some reason, the word poverty really stuck out. Poverty, perseverance. So I'm not sure how we can connect that. But as I was shuffling, the art card popped out. This is actually a new card for me, and I really feel like this is the temperance. They have made in the thought that this is temperance. And so when we think about temperance, I always feel like it's about a balance and a give and a take, right? So when we think poverty and we think perseverance, I feel like there's a balance. I talked about homelessness the last time that we did a reading, and I feel like maybe there needs to be some sort of balance that's coming, some sort of give and take that we're going to establish as a society or as a collective. But, we could take that a whole bunch of different ways. But ultimately, I feel, and art too, and we talked about creativity last time. So we're going to really think balance. We're thinking duality more than anything. We're thinking duality of dark and of light, right? And I think that might be even it, like the balance and the prosperity. Actually, it was prosperity and poverty. And that's kind of like the dark and the light, right? That's kind of like opposites. So we want to balance. We're thinking balance, we're thinking give and take. We're thinking dark and we're thinking light. So that's how we're going to open this up. That was just a card that flew out. But I'm not going to read any reverses. But the first card that I pulled, and fun with this card is this was the first card I looked at before I started shuffling the deck. But it is the Nine of Wands. Now, in the Thoth deck, they have put strength with this. So at this moment, through this time, through whatever you're going through, encourage yourself to be strong. Okay? I know that there's so many earthly things that happen, and it brings us through so much. Even with Mercury retrograde, this isn't a time to blame anything, but the energy is fucking ridiculous. The energy is crazy because also things are happening to other people. And so they're acting a certain way towards you because of whatever's happening to them. And it just remain strong. Not just remain strong, remain in your intuition. Okay? The sun really sticks out to me with here. The sun is so strong, and also we're in Leo. Leo is connected to the sun. But so during this time, that is the message, to stay strong, stay focused, stay with your laser sharp focus, okay? Stay with the target. I really keep feeling like there's direction that needs to happen. There's focus that needs to happen. I feel like wherever people are right now, they're kind of starting to get scattered because of the energy. And I think you have to stay focused on your goals. Don't let your emotions take over and push you away from something that is for you. Okay? That's just what I'm feeling from this card, that strength is not just strength. Strength comes in numbers too. Don't be afraid to ask people for help. Don't be afraid to because really with the Nine of Wands, it is really kind of a card where you feel like you're like blocked by something, like you're constrained. It feels like you are behind something, like something is holding you back. Sometimes you're the only person holding yourself back. Right? Asking for help. There's no problem asking for help because we are one energy here. Open yourself up to connecting. And if there are people that are around you that you don't feel you can ask for help, ask for the divine help, right? The divine is always going to be here to help you. If you reach out to the divine will reach back out to you. Always ask for help. Let's go to the next card. Six of Wands. Something is really like messing with my energy with this reading right now. Something is not coming across, and something needs to come across. And I think that poverty is still blocking in my mind. Something about that feeling of being impoverished and of feeling like you're lacking something. I feel like that's what's happening with so many people, and I guess with myself as well. But motivation. So this reading, I want us to be motivated by it. What we have to do is we have to see that this physical realm cannot hold us back from anything that we want, because this is kind of like our place to play. When you see the Matrix and you see how Neo, after he wakes up, wakes up, and everything looks like the computer, programming, that's how you gotta look at this world. When you see this world, look at it as a program for you to manipulate, for you to create your own codes so you can live your life the way you want to live it. Don't let things hold you back. Not even don't let things hold you back. I don't want to say the word don't. I want to say live free. Live as you will. Live as thou will. Wow, that just specifically came through. Live in love. Don't stop using the word don't. Live in love. Live in freedom. Live in peace. Live knowing that whatever it is that you want, you can have. That is something that Aleister Crowley is trying to convey to us. And not just him, but the beings that he represents, the beings that are associated with him. Aleister Crowley is not just a person. It's some sort of being, some sort of energy that does have a way to channel and connect with us. And I don't think that it's a negative thing that this thing is trying to channel to us. I think that it's something positive, that we need it, but we won't see it because we're programmed not to see it, because they try to make us not see it. And I think that we have to really break that down so we can open ourselves up to being connected to things that they tell us not to be connected to. Not because it's evil, but because it's freeing you. It's freeing you. Words like poverty should not exist. That's what it is. Something like poverty should not exist. Certain things like hate should not exist. Anger should not exist. Not saying that you can't ever be angry, but don't work in anger. Stop saying the word don't. Not saying that you can't be angry, but work in love, work in happiness, and work in peace. That is where we want to come from. Ooh. So victory. Victory is how we should feel. The 6 of Wands. We have sixes. 6 is a harmonious number. It is about harmony and it's about balance. It's about a divine balance. And we want to keep that divine balance in our life. That's probably what the Temperance card, the art card, is about. Because through art, we do find freedom and we find this balance within ourselves. When we become artistic, it opens us up to the divine channels that are trying to communicate with us. And when we let ourselves be free in art, we let ourselves be free in communication to the divine. And we open ourselves up to messages, and we open ourselves up to the life that we're supposed to be leading in freedom. Whew. Our next card, and fire also comes to play. A lot about fire and a lot about lighting that fire in yourself and about bringing stability into your life through these fires that you light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 flames. There are 9 flames. 9 is a transformative number. Let the fire in your life transform you. Find that fire within yourself to be transformative. Fire can also destruct things. Fire can burn things down. You want to destruct things that are not helping you and that are not serving you so that you can transform into yourself that you're supposed to be. We want to be free. We want to be happy. We want to be elevated. So you have to tear down and destruct down the things that are not helping you in your life. The things that are holding you back, that are hurting you, that are causing you anger. You don't want to be angry. Things that are causing you anxiety and confusion. Burn those things down to transform those things so that you can have a victory in your life. That is what this is saying to us. Let's go to the next card, because the next card is the 9 of discs. This is the 9 of Pentacles. They have put the word gain with this, which is so telling of this card, because the 9 of Pentacles, it is about a momentum that you're gaining. you're almost to this place of extreme wealth, of extreme abundance, and extreme dominance in the spiritual and physical realm. 9 is again coming up as a transformative number, right? But when you put it with the discs and you put it with the pentacles can also be about the earth, right? It can be about that element of earth. And I want us to dominate the element of earth, dominate this physical realm, and make yourself transform into a spiritual being. Now, I'm not saying dominate Mother Nature, because Mother Nature is infinite and Mother Nature dominates us, okay? I feel like Mother Nature doesn't dominate us. Mother Nature works with us, and Mother Nature loves us, and we need to work in love with Mother Nature. But let me just look at this real quick. There is a world that can open up to you once you burn down all of the things that are holding you back and you transform. Gosh, I don't know why I just thought about babies. I thought about creation. That's probably why I thought about babies. Really, this made me think of ovaries. It made me think of fallopian tubes. It made me think of a uterus. It made me think of creating this abundance in your life. And that's where we all are right now. You have that ability. And I think that the problem is that we have, like I told you, that the things that do control the society, I feel like we're working with them way too much. We're working with them way too much. We're working with them and we're allowing them to stop the creation that we can have within ourselves. When you think about how we can create other beings by just love. Because really, sex is about love. Sex isn't just about fucking. You know what I'm saying? That's why when you do that, you don't feel good after you just fuck some random person. But when you make love to a person, it elevates everything about who you are. And you never forget that kind of love. That kind of love stays with you for an eternity. And when you don't have that kind of love, you long for it because it feeds your soul and it grows who you are. It makes you feel alive, like you are a superhuman. That's the kind of thing that we are held back from. But this is what we want to give ourselves, is that kind of energy, that kind of boost to live in that type of love. The next card is the 5 of discs, which is the 5 of pentacles. What are we worrying about? We put the word worry with that. And really, I can put these two together because I like for these two cards to play together. So let's talk about the 5 of discs. Okay. So when we look at it, that's the 5 of pentacles. We have all sorts of different shapes. We have them in a pentagram. It looks like there's a lot going on, and it's changes that are happening that you need to really bring in. But more than changes, like things changing, I think that it shifts and it's molding that needs to happen for you. Don't worry about, what are you worrying about? What would worry? What would bring worry into your life? Worrying that you cannot create, worrying that you cannot live in peace and live in happiness. Why worry about any of that? Because what this whole energy that I'm feeling is telling us that we are worrying because something is implanting that into us. We are being implanted. Something about sacred geometry just popped up into my head. Something about sacred geometry, which I don't know very much about at all, like, period. But there's reasons why certain things scare us. There's reasons why. And the reason why is because, how do I explain this? To associate it with geometry and with sacred geometry. Okay, so when we think about this, when you see an octagon, right? You think of a stop sign, right? It makes you think stop. So you've been implanted into your mind that when you see that shape, that means to stop. But why? Why? Because they told us to. I feel like I kind of am going off on a tangent, but I really want to say that you have to dispel the normality in everything. When you see that stop sign, let go of that thought that needs to stop, if that makes sense. Reform your mind and reform your thoughts, reform your programming specifically is what it's saying for us to do. It says reform your programming. Reform your programming. I just saw a fly, right? Or a bug. And I really thought to myself, like, oh, there's a bug. And then I realized, why the fuck am I afraid of this bug? Why is it a problem? And you know why? Because I've seen so many fucking commercials of getting bugs away, spraying bugs, killing bugs. Why the fuck are we really worried about a bug? Why are we worried about a fly? Like, it's just a fucking fly. What is it going to really do to me? Why is it really a problem? Little shit like that makes you realize that we worry about dumb shit, and we've been programmed to worry about dumb shit. And why? Because of capitalism. We live in a capitalist society where they have to create things for us to buy. They have to create fears in our mind. They have to create a structure that's going to make us want things that we don't need, want things that we shouldn't need. Why do I need to kill a little fucking gnat, bug, whatever that is? Why do I need to kill it? Why do I even give a fuck that it's in my bathroom? Why do I care? Because something has told me that I shouldn't have these things around me, but this is Mother Nature. This is nature. Why does that matter? And I feel like we shouldn't worry about things that don't matter. I say that constantly. And that is really something that what is channeling to me is telling us that we need to stop worrying about things that don't matter. We need to change our programming because they have us really on some dumb shit. Like, I'm trying to remember what kind of bug it is. There's a certain kind of bug that when they kill it, it makes other things come. So then I can't remember if it's locusts or something like that. But just generally, whenever you notice if you take away one kind of like thing, like animal or insect, you take that away, all of a sudden you see a whole nother kind like reproduce. So you end up getting more of what you didn't even want in the first place, right? But because nature has a way of balancing itself out and working itself out. Bees, like how we're getting rid of bees, like we're fucking bees over, but there's like a whole documentary about like how we really need them to sustain our life. Like, but why the fuck don't we like bees? Little shit like that is stuff that we have to let go of. Sorry, I just have to really stay on that because it's something that it really wants me to channel that we have to really lay down a lot of the shit that we have been programmed with. Whew. The next card. We're getting a lot of pentacles, by the way. Pentacles is actually pretty dope. We got pentacles and wands. Pretty much our whole reading is pentacles and wands except for one. But right now, with the Princess of Discs. So this is like the page of pentacles. And the thought that it's the Princess of Discs. Wow. So she is very dominant. Look at that. She's holding yin and yang in her hands, which is the balance, the infinite internal balance, I feel. Eternal, infinite balance, right? With her staff on the ground, but it's putting this golden energy into the earth, right? She's dominant. And I feel like this is what we need to really be in this world, in this universe, right? We are these infinite beings. We are infinite celestial beings. Whatever this physical body that we're in, we're really infinite celestial beings. The energy that is within us can outreach. If you've ever seen the Pleiadians message to us, and they talk about the 12 helix, instead of the double helix, the 12 helix, that is what we originally had. We originally had a connection to the cosmos. Originally, this earth was not the only thing that we knew of. There's a lot of people who feel they are starseeds, but I myself, I feel like I come from the people that were normally here, that were here before, that had a 12 helix. I feel that a lot of people, when you have this in your family and you have a lineage of psychics, of mediums, of shaman, when you have that in your lineage, I feel that that's because we are the people that are originally from here, not from another planet. I'm from this planet. Something about our DNA stayed, and we stayed connected, and we stayed with that 12 helix. We stayed connected to the cosmos and to the other dimensions, and that's why I don't feel like I'm from somewhere else. I feel like we are from here. And This is the kind of energy that we hold, those that are from here, those that are original earthlings. This is the kind of energy that we hold. And I'm really, for real, this is just how I feel. Whenever I feel like when people talk about being a star seed and they talk about being other planets, I don't feel that. I feel that I am originally from here. I feel that. And this is the energy that we hold, those of us from here. And this is the energy that we know. That's why it's so important to really understand that beings from other dimensions and beings from other energies, they are just like you. Star Wars came into mind. And that is something that I know it's a movie, but it's very like telling of our reality. Different energies, different beings, different things from different planets, different celestial beings, because just because you're from another planet doesn't mean that you're going to be a green Martian. There could be an energy that you're in a physical body now, right? That you just walk in a physical body. But that's why I feel like that change is needed. Change is needed for everyone to understand that this is what we are. Now, if we want to go back to the basics of the tarot and we talk about the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles is about things moving slowly, slow movements. But I don't feel that from this card. I feel deviated from the normal meaning of the Page of Pentacles, and I feel that the Princess of Discs, she is an earthling that is connected to her 12, that it has her 12 helix, and she's connected to the cosmos and connected to the other dimensions. And I feel that is what we need to be. That's where we need to go. Sorry, I feel like I went on another tangent. I've been going on tangents this whole freaking reading, but I can't help it. Something about this card is real special to me. And I think it's just because no one ever really says that I am an earthling, that I am from here. And that's just how I feel. I don't feel connected like from somewhere else. I feel connected to here. And I feel like my family, my lineage from my grandmother to my great grandmother, I from all the way down, my family are my guides. Like, multiple people in my family are guides, and not because I decided that they were, but because they presented themselves to me. And when I did research, when I looked in a family tree or I looked through a photo album, I found those people. Like, real shit. I found those people and I realized that this is my family and they are guiding me because they know that I need that guidance through all this stuff. Sometimes I think that everyone doesn't realize that y'all all have these natural abilities. We all originally had these abilities until what came in and took over our planet and what controls our society. They changed that. They changed it to a double helix. This is not for me. This is from the Plagans. But they changed it to a double helix. They changed it to a physical being, right? That they feel has an inability to connect to these cosmos and to connect these other dimensions. But what we need to do is we have to tap in to our natural abilities, our natural psychic abilities, natural medium abilities. When people constantly say they felt ghosts, seeing ghosts, that's because all of us have these abilities. I'm not just unique. The only thing is that maybe mine are just a little more amplified, and it's been that way since I was a kid. And also because I've decided to allow that. The moment I decided to allow myself to be me, to allow my abilities to reign, where I acknowledge my abilities, that's when they grew. Okay, the Nine of Cups. Last card in this is the Nine of Cups. So this is the wish card. I call this the manifestation card. This is the card that tells us that we have the ability to create. And the reason why is because we are the Princess of Discs, okay? We are these beings. We have a 12 helix. We are connected to the cosmos. Being connected to the cosmos means that whatever this physical realm has cannot hold us back from whatever it is that we feel driven to or that our spirit wants. It cannot hold us back. You have look at that, how your cup is overflowing. The cup overflows of happiness. Feel that and live in that happiness, because when you feel happiness and you feel love, that helps unlock everything. It really, truly does. Love is truly light. So what you need to do, be strong. Be strong. Be strong through whatever energies that are coming in this physical realm. Make sure that you destruct and burn down anything that feels that it is adverse to your stability, right? You have this ability to create. And you know, we have transformative energy. That's what these nines are about, is this transformative energy that we hold within ourselves, right? There's no need to be worrying about any changes that are happening. I feel like we need to mold ourselves. Last card, I actually skipped a card, and it was the Prince of Wands. Ride through this Leo season, okay? But ride on it, bringing change, bringing creativity, bringing strength. Bringing so much strength, creativity, and change. This reminds me of the lower three chakras, is what it reminds me of. And I feel like it's going back to this theme of pushing through this physical realm and pushing through it like a beast, right? Pushing through it like a beast. There's nothing that's going to hold you back. Nothing at all. And whatever these things are that control this society, they ain't going to hold us back either. I'm going to pull some of my shamanic healing cards. Hold up. I feel it so strongly. Like there's something happening with us as a collective where we are pushing through, and there's a lot of people that want this. I think there are some people that are into the gimmick of it, and it kind of does but maybe by you being into the gimmick, you'll get a little bit of the truth. You'll get a little bit of the reality. You'll realize the life that we really truly have in this. 5 is pushing out. 5 keeps pushing out. 5 is a number of change, but there also is another, I think it's also another, I want to say it's of endurance or indulgence. It's one of the other. But with 5 always for me feels like a good, like in between number 2 and 2 on each side. You know what I'm saying? And so when I think of that and we're talking change and we're talking 2 and 2 on each side, that feels like balance and balance, right? Feels like a balance. Let me pull a couple cards. These cards all fell out. Teaching, self-love. I don't like that either. I ain't feeling those cards. Whew. But going back to that concept of the Pleiadians, if you've never watched or listened to the message of the Pleiadians, I definitely highly suggest it. A woman channeled this message to us. And if you don't believe in aliens, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you, because that means that you really don't believe in the reality of what we live in, because aliens are not little green men. They're not little gray men all the time. It's all sorts of different things, beings. Aleister Crowley is an alien. Aleister Crowley is an alien. Not an alien from some other planet, but I don't know where they're from or what he is. But the energy that I get when I channel him is different from anything. And it's not even an energy where I totally feel overwhelmed. It's the energy where there's just definitely a message. How do I know that it's him? Because his picture pops up into my head. His picture popped up into my head before I knew what he looked like. When I first held his card, something told me to embrace the dark side in you, Golda. And that picture of him popped up into my head. Looked like Uncle Fester from the Addams Family. When I went to look him up as to who he was, that was who it was. So it is what it is. Take it how you want to take it. I'm going to pull 5 cards. Teaching brought up again. Teaching brought up again. The first card I pulled last time was teaching just now. So the first card we have is grounding, right? So being grounded in nature, connect with Mother Nature is really what I'm seeing here. Because once we connect with nature as your key, connect with nature as your key to finding the energy that we all originally had. So something about when you connect to Mother Nature and connect to this earth, you're going to unlock that energy that we had originally. Okay. When I go to the ocean can give you visions The trees can give you visions, can give you emotions. If you've held like a crystal sometimes and you felt something from this crystal, connect with Mother Nature, ground yourself in Mother Nature and become acquainted with her, because that is how we're going to connect to the original energy that we had, so that we can unlock the key, unlock the door, the key. Nature is the key. That's what it's saying to us. Inner journey. So you're going to have to take an inner journey to figure these things out for yourself, because a lot of the stuff that I talk about is so off the fucking wall that I know you're like, what the fuck is really happening? What is she talking about? Is she crazy? No, not crazy at all. Actually, very, very sane. Actually, the most sane that I've ever been in my life right now. And you're going to have to do a lot of inner journey to figure this out for yourself. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 is like an infinite 8. I think about the infinity 8. So there is an infinite journey within yourself. Then you just have to keep going and keep going. Something I always note that with my own personal journey, I'll think that I'm one place and then now I'm on a whole nother journey right now, even with entering Aleister Crowley into my life and into my tarot. That's a whole nother journey that I'm going on. And even these readings, a whole nother journey. Go on an inner journey so that we can answer these questions for ourselves. Masculine energy, the sun, is what we see again. We've had the sun, the sun, the sun. The sun has been here a few times. I don't know why, but I feel the phoenix when I see the sun. The phoenix rising. Jean Grey was one of the strongest X-Men there. And I identify with Jean Grey because she was afraid of her own abilities. She was afraid to unlock the phoenix. Don't be afraid to unlock that phoenix, because you want to make sure first that you're grounded, right? We want to be grounded. We want to go on our own inner journey so we understand ourselves, understand our own energy. But now let's unlock that masculine energy. But I'm going to say, let's unlock that phoenix that's in you, that phoenix that can be connected to this other realm and that has that control and that has that power to form and create. The phoenix was a bad motherfucker in them X-Men movies. If you ever seen it, she could do anything. The only problem was that she didn't have any control of her abilities when she was the phoenix. And that's what you're going to want to do. Abundance. Abundance has come up again, a second time in a row. And I'm going to say that you want to have something about this water is really resonating with me in this card. Letting things flow. Letting things flow. So when you find that energy within yourself, that phoenix energy, let that energy flow. Let that energy be what is going to take you to through life, right? Wait, there it goes. Let that energy flow through you, right? Don't be afraid of that energy. And the last card that we pulled was teaching. I'm going to pull one more. Teaching, okay? Now what I'm noticing is roots. The roots really stick out for me here. 5, 4 plus 1 is 5. We've got 5 again. 5 is really reigning in here to the point where I need to really think of, I just saw 5, 5, 5, 5, like 3 times yesterday, actually, which is interesting. And I'm thinking this is 1, this is 2, 3. I see 3 5s, right? So something about 5, 5, 5, which is dramatic change, which is a dramatic change that could be happening. But there's more to that. So I take it upon all of y'all to look up the meaning of 5. Take it on yourself to find some sort of way to resonate with what that message is about. Not because I don't know, but because I want you to know for yourself. So teaching. Teach yourself. Begin to embark on this journey and begin to start to question things and look things up. I said that previously about finding out what's your 5D self. Speaking of 5 again, you know, what are these energies? Looking up the Pleiadians message and listening to it and being a part of it, not as a skeptic, but as open to it. There's something that we need to be teaching ourselves and continuously teaching ourselves so that we can evolve. Because I feel like we're not even evolving to a next step. We're kind of evolving back to what we were, to being connected again. And our last, something about a burden. I don't like that part. I'm going to be real. Something is like, I'm feeling like something isn't closing. I feel like I haven't gotten that last message that I want to get because there's something more. This just flew out, and it's reunion of the souls. Okay. So when I look at this, I see your higher self, and I see your physical self. And it wants to be a reunion of the souls. 7, very highly spiritual number. And that's what I'm going to close off with, because this was the last card that flew out, and it feels in my heart like it resonates the most with what we are all talking about right now. We talked about having strength through all of this crazy energy that's going on. Don't blame Mercury retrograde anymore. Just say that the energy is on point right now. The energy is on fire, actually, not on point, on fire right now. And I feel like burning down anything that's holding us back, not worrying and being part of creation, but also really burning down any kind of norms that have been implanted in our minds so that we can be free to live as we were before. Freedom is a huge deal here. We want to really push through the physical realm like a beast, right? And we need to know that we are these beings that don't have any kind of constraint, and that whatever it is that is controlling our society, I call them demons. Some people call them archons. Some people call them reptilians. There's so many different names for whatever these things are that are controlling our society. But you have to remember what you were originally. And originally, you were a celestial being that naturally had a connection to the cosmos and to the other dimensions. And so you have to always remember that, so that we can move through this stuff. Stay grounded, and being with Mother Nature is the first way. And that's key, because grounding yourself with Mother Nature, it puts you in with that creative energy, and it puts you in with that celestial energy, because there is that energy within Mother Nature. Go on your own inner journey so that you can really know that this energy is within you. Okay, you want to let the phoenix rise within you. Stop being afraid of it. Don't be that Jean Grey. Let yourself be the phoenix, but still have control of that energy. Try to make sure that you are not letting yourself get carried away not even get carried away. Don't let yourself feel like you have no grounding in the energy that's coming to you. There's a lot of teaching that I would like you to do for yourself, for myself as well. Looking up things like the message from the Pleiadians. Looking up things like, what does 555 mean? Looking up things. When you see things that are odd to you, please look them up so that you're getting that education for yourself, because we have to evolve. What is controlling our society is taking us down a road where we will not be able to be saved if we do not do something about it. And that's why I really have been pushing these messages, because whatever it is that's channeling me, it is telling me strongly that this is really something that we have to do, or we're going to be stuck in a fucking matrix. And I don't want that for my kids or my kids' kids. I want them to live freely. So you want to also at the end have a reunion of the souls. Let your higher self, your 5D self, and your 3D self become one. Okay, you are your higher self. You are your 3D self. Once you tell yourself that, you will know that you are living in spirit, and you are living in love, and you are living in light. Okay, so that was our read for today. That was a lot. It was a whole lot. But I will have to just say that right now we are in a time where we want to strip down, and we want to be authentic. We want to be genuine. We want to live in love. We want to live in peace. We want to live in happiness. And that's what I pray for everybody. Thank you.